Good morning, dear hearts. I'm back for lesson 338 and also to make, I guess we could say, an announcement, but we'll do that in a moment. Lesson 338, I am affected only by my thoughts. As I've said so many times, it's an inside job. My thoughts in here, I'm only affected by them. There's nothing else that will affect my mood, my life, my outlook. It's all within my thoughts. And of course, the great thing about that is that it's only a thought and I can change it. So I'm going to go, as I've done so many times when I've done this lesson, to lesson 70. My salvation comes from me. Because in that lesson is a few sentences that I repeat often because they're so clear, and it lets us know, indeed, that I'm only affected by my thoughts. And it says, the seeming cost of accepting today's idea that my salvation comes from me means that nothing outside yourself can save you. Nothing outside yourself can give you peace. But it also means that nothing outside yourself can hurt you or disturb your peace or upset you in any way unless I allow it to. So today's idea places you in charge of the universe where you belong because of what you are, the sinless, guiltless, perfect child of God. The lesson, we'll do that. We'll go back and forth to a few other places today, I think. Because this idea of our thoughts, we had it in the very beginning of the workbook in our beginning lessons. We would start with lesson 4, actually. I guess I'll do that now. There's so much I want to say, and I don't want to ramble too much. But lesson 4 was these thoughts do not mean anything. And then lesson 10 told me that my thoughts became more personal. My thoughts do not mean anything. And then my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. And then 15, that my thoughts are images that I have made. I've made it all up. And then lesson 16 was, I have no neutral thoughts because every thought that I have will make or create on some level. And then lesson 19, that I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. So it's a collective consciousness here that my thoughts that I have, because we are one mind, remember that. So my thoughts that I have will affect me, but they will also affect you. Again, it's like that pebble in the pond. I know I haven't mentioned that recently. I haven't been here enough. But yeah, so it's the power of our thoughts is what we have to always understand. It's one of the really, in many ways, the greatest power that we have outside of realizing that we are as God created us. And that's also a thought that we have to accept. So the fact that we have these thoughts and we can change these thoughts and then change our thoughts, change our world, change everything around us. Going to today's lesson. I knew I'd get there. I am affected only by my thoughts. It needs but this to let salvation come to all the world. My thoughts. Well, here we go again. For my thoughts, for salvation to come, well then I have to go to lesson 94, the first time that we had this lesson. I am as God created me. And this is the one idea which brings complete salvation, the one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless, the one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. You are as God created you. So I'm only affected by my thoughts, and I am as God created me. Let me accept that thought, and then everything else will surely fall into place, as it were. Okay, it needs but this to let salvation come to all the world, for in this single thought is everyone released at last from fear. My thoughts, I release everyone from fear. Now has he learned that no one frightens him and nothing can endanger him. He has no enemies. The child of God, the Son of God, has no enemies, and he is safe from all external things. His thoughts can frighten him, but since these thoughts belong to him alone, he has the power to change them. I can change my thoughts. And when I change my thoughts, I change my outlook. I change everything. And I then can exchange each fear thought for a happy thought of love. Remember, God's world is happy. We are meant to exchange the fearful thoughts, the sad thoughts, the ego thoughts, for thoughts that will bring us peace, thoughts that align us with our Father, thoughts that our Father would have us think. So I can do like just an exchange. Here's this thought. I want another one. I want a better thought. Sort of like when you play Uno and you go for another card, okay? I want another card. I want another thought. This one I can't do anything with. I don't want to do anything with that thought. And exchange each fear thought for a happy thought of love. He crucified himself. It can be but myself I crucify. Yet God has planned that his beloved Son will be redeemed, because God has a plan for salvation, and only God's plan for salvation will work. My plan for salvation, if I am decided it away from God's mind, if I've come up with my own plan for salvation, it's from the ego mind, and it will never work. Nothing that the ego gives us will ever work in our favor. The second part of today's lesson is, your plan is sure, my Father, only yours. Only your plan will work. All other plans will fail, and I will have thoughts that will frighten me. And I can be, another lesson, 281, I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. And I will have thoughts that will frighten me until I learn that you have given me the only thought that leads me to salvation, the thought of the Holy Spirit, the thought that indeed I am as you created me. Mine alone, my thoughts alone, my plan alone will fail and lead me nowhere. But the thought you gave me promises to lead me home, because it holds your promise to your son, to your child. God keeps his promises always, and God knows that we are meant to be home with him. That's the only place we ever want to go, we ever want to be. And now I have a sad announcement for all of Buster's fans. Buster has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. He had a seizure. He may have had two. He was failing. He was losing weight. And he had a very peaceful crossing, as I was able to hold him and tell him how very much that little boy kitty was loved, and how much he will be missed, not only by me, but to everyone who has ever come into this house, and to everyone who has ever seen him on a video and asked for more. So I wanted to share that sad news, because you're all part of the family. And we are a spiritual family here. And I thank you all for all of your kind thoughts throughout all the years, and requests for more Buster. So he's still on the old videos here and there. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. I don't think I said that. If you haven't, please do. Please breathe. Please release. And please smile. Please pray for peace to come to every mind right now, today, and all of our thoughts be changed to thoughts of love. Namaste.